am here with baby Kai. Kai is the Phoenix Sculpt by Andrea Arcello. And I haven't done a video with this boy in a little while. I think he got overshadowed by my silicone twins, my baby Michael and baby Ethan silicones. So I wanted to give him some love and bring him out to say hi to you guys because I know he is a fan favorite. And I wanted to chat about a topic I saw on Kellie Girl's channel not too long ago. It is about, whether do artists get upset if we sell on a baby too quickly, like sell on a doll too quickly? And I just thought it was a great topic. So thank you, Kellie Girl, for the inspiration. And so I'm going to do this video as a little bit of a tag. And I just think it's a great topic. So I'm going to change Kai into this sleeper. It's from Disney Store, Disney Baby. It's just this like cute like Mickey Mouse sleeper. And I'm going to put that on him. I don't think he's worn this yet. I don't know if any of the babies have. He probably has, and I'm just like not remembering. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put that on him while we do this video. So yeah, so I guess, first of all, I think Kellie made like some amazing points in her video. So yeah, I'll just kind of talk about it just brand new, and I may, some of my stuff may repeat some of what she said as well. But I guess first of all, why do collectors sell a doll on in the first place? And I also do think that, so I think the main point is if, we all have limited budget, limited resources, so we, can't keep every doll that we like sometimes. And so I've also seen situations where, a lot of times a collector has to sell a doll for financial reasons, and maybe they otherwise would choose to keep that baby, but sometimes, unexpected expenses come up. And sometimes it has like nothing to do with how much they like the baby. And in fact, I've seen collectors, who post a doll for sale, when it's these types of circumstances, maybe there's a medical expense or some other bill that came up, has said that, hey, this is a sad sale or a reluctant sale. And to me, that means that the collector like really loves the baby that they're selling, and they feel really sad they have to let that baby go. And I've seen a lot of sales like that, where it very much is a reluctant sale. It's not something that they wanted to do, but maybe need to for financial reasons. And these dolls are Kellie made a great point. These dolls are not cheap. So even reborns, even a quality reborn is not inexpensive. So silicones are obviously far more expensive and can be in the thousands. And so, that's a lot of money to have tied up in a doll if you need the money for something else, or if you're just like not absolutely in love with the baby. So, so sometimes it just may be something about it, or just for whatever reason, you're just not bonding. Like maybe you feel like, objectively speaking, that doll is beautiful, and you love the doll, but you're just not bonded for whatever reason. Like I've had a couple dolls like that, that kind of came and went quickly in my nursery, and I have a friend who has like kind of bought and sold dolls, and turned them over a little bit quickly because sometimes she just wanted to see what kind of study the painting, just to have some inspiration for her own artwork, which I think is fine. So it's like not and I feel like sometimes, that she kind of passes on a great deal to the second mommy, because she usually will sell for a little bit less than what she paid, which is a great deal for everyone. So sometimes it just has nothing to do with, here, I'm going to actually turn him this way so you can just see those cute little buttons. And I just love these cloth diapers. It just makes their bottom a little bit filled out, but oh, he looks so cozy. But I definitely understand how an artist might have their feelings hurt, if a doll got sold on fairly quickly. Okay, hold on. Here's Kai. And so sometimes I think collectors might feel like, oh, hey, is there like a respectable period to hold on to the baby just so you don't hurt the artist's feelings? I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you and also for the next collector. And sometimes holding onto the doll, a little bit longer might spare the artist's feelings, but at the end of the day, I think you're going to be able to get a better price for your doll if you sell it right away, because it's kind of like a used car, right? The older the car is, the more it's been driven around and things like that, you know, the value just starts to go down and down. So I think sometimes it's nice to be able to say, hey, just received this doll, it's pristine, brand new condition, you know, haven't even changed it or whatever, maybe changed it once to take a photo, and I'm selling it on. And you don't have to say why you're selling the baby. I think sometimes people do want to say that it's for financial reasons because they don't want the artist to take it personally, which I totally understand. And I think any artist would understand. You know, maybe you bought the doll and then, you know, unexpected expenses came up, or a lot of times too in this hobby, another, you know, baby that kind of fit maybe more of your criteria. That happens a lot, comes up, and then you have to make some tough choices in your collection because you can't just, you know, keep them all. So so I have definitely seen that happen, you know, where, you know, yeah, the collector then has to make some tough decisions around who to keep, who to sell. And sometimes they may sell a doll that they just got into the nursery because they're not as bonded to that baby versus one that they've had for a long time and they just have like that emotional attachment to. So sometimes that's why you'll see sometimes a doll turn around quickly. It may have like absolutely nothing to do with how wonderful the doll is, but maybe it's just like that particular collector's bond with that doll, and maybe some other circumstance came up that they need to sell. So but yeah, but I do think that artists might feel like, oh, you know, why didn't they want to keep it? And but I want to kind of offer that perspective, just, you know, because I've been a collector for a few years now, and a lot of, you know, my friends who buy and sell, you know, sometimes it is, you know, sometimes there is something about the doll, you know, that, you know, that isn't for them. Like maybe they bought a bald baby and they really want, you know, prefer dolls with hair, or maybe the size of the baby is too big or too small for their liking, and that again has nothing to do with the artist. It could also, sometimes people also are not happy with how the baby was weighted. I think that's a very easy fix and something, you know, I would encourage collectors to learn how to do. There are definitely videos on YouTube on how to weight a baby, and then you kind of experiment a little bit to see, you know, what's to your liking. So, oh my gosh, this boy is so cute. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I have him. I need more baby boys in my nursery. I really do. Anyway, yeah. Um, so what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't want to be repetitive to Kellie's video. I'll definitely link her video below so you guys can check it out. But yeah, I just really think that, you know, I'm trying to think for myself as an artist if I've experienced. I'm sure some of my babies have been resold, and, you know, and not, you know, without my knowledge. I just don't really follow. I'm not always like up and up on everything going on in the community. So I guess it's possible that I've had a baby that get resold. You know, and I guess like if I, you know, if that happened, I probably would feel a little bit hurt, you know, that maybe you know, the mommy didn't like love the doll enough to keep it. So I for sure understand why an artist would feel that way. But I think that, you know, there are oftentimes many circumstances that, you know, surround a sale. And this is a very expensive hobby. So it's just one of those things where it's tough because new dolls and new sculpts are coming out all the time. And we can kind of get into that cycle of like chasing the latest and greatest. And sometimes with that, you know, we end up having to turn over our collection a little bit. Right now, though, for myself, as I look at the dolls in my nursery, I feel so happy with everyone who's in my nursery at the moment, and yeah, I don't really, you know, feel that desire to sell anybody. You know, I just, and I also have slowed down on kind of the browsing of new dolls and acquiring, because it can be kind of a tiring cycle too. But yeah, I mean, the other point she made, which is a good one, is I think sometimes there's a lot of excitement with getting a new doll. And I think it's kind of like buying anything new. You know, we all sometimes do get some buyer's remorse, like, ooh, like maybe that money could have been used somewhere else, and that sort of thing. So it, you know, just like if we go to the store and you buy a new dress, and in the moment you're like really excited about that dress, and then once you get it home, you're like, huh, I don't know if I love this as much anymore, and then you decide to return it, you know, so that happens. Just kind of general buyer's remorse. And again, it might be our own shopaholic tendencies and behavior, like kind of wanting something new and shiny, and kind of a, you know, in addiction to kind of like that box opening experience. And so I think that that is definitely something that is a real thing, you know, for sure. And I think it happens a lot too when we're new to collecting, and there's just this kind of like honeymoon period with the hobby where you're just like so excited and you just like buy a lot of dolls, and then you kind of then have this moment of like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Why do I have so many babies? And then you start selling some off. So that happens. So there's just like so many different reasons, and none of them may have to do with the doll itself. I do think that sometimes where I see more of the reluctant sales, like, oh, I love this doll, but I really need the money. I see that more with like the higher price point babies. Maybe it's the silicones, because if you can get several $1,000s for a silicone, there's a lot of uses for that money. You know, if you have to decide between keeping your doll and making your rent payment, well, guess what? Which one's going to win, right? So I think that, you know, financial reasons are a big, very common reason of why people buy and sell. So anyway, those are just some of my thoughts. I would love to hear what you think. And thank you again, Kellie Girl, for starting this awesome tag. I don't think she meant it as a tag, but she just kind of chatted about the topic. And I'm going to kind of just turn it into a little bit of a tag. And so, yeah, but I think it's a great one. But yeah, I would just encourage artists, myself included, to try not to take it personally. I know it can be really hard if somebody sells on a doll that you made. And you know, I'll give an example for myself of one that was fairly recent. My Chi by Bonnie Stevens sculpt that I received, and she was painted by Sherry Ziegler, rooted by Lazara. She's a beautiful baby, and I decided to sell her because I really pictured that doll as I really pictured that baby as an Asian baby. And then when Sherry painted her, and maybe I don't know, maybe the wires got crossed and I wasn't clear enough in my communication, but her eyebrows came in a little bit like kind of like lighter brown. So then Lazara ended up rooting her to match her eyebrows, and so she ended up looking like more of a mixed kind of more maybe half Asian, you know, sort of baby. Still very cute, but she just wasn't my vision for the sculpt. And sometimes that happens with custom orders, especially. Like you may have in your mind a certain vision of kind of what that doll looks like, and then when you receive it, it may just look very different than what you thought it would be. So that absolutely happens. So anyway, I would just you know, I decided to sell her on pretty quickly after I got her, and I didn't have her for very long at all, and you know, maybe did like one or two videos with her, and that was it. So that was one. And sometimes when you do the box opening, you know, because there are a lot of times when it's like it just wasn't what you expected, and not in a bad way necessarily, but you know, we all have like specific preferences which totally vary from collector to collector. So anyway, one collector's you know, dream baby may be just not another collector's cup of tea, and that's totally okay. Like I think that's like the beauty of this hobby and the diversity of our preferences and what we each like and don't like. And so sometimes you do the box opening and you're just over the moon. You're like, oh my gosh, this baby is like a forever keeper. And then there are others that you're like, oh, I really like this baby. But you're also maybe thinking, okay, well, you know, I don't know if this baby is going to be a forever keeper. I might keep the baby for a while, but then I might decide to put the baby up for sale at some point. So I have had dolls where that have kind of been in that category. And I won't say anyone is a forever keeper except for my portrait silicone babies of my kids and of myself. But I have some dolls that I've had now for a little while, and I can't imagine not having them and not having them in my nursery. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts. Thank you again, Kellie, and I hope you guys have a great day. And Kai is going to say bye to you guys. All right, take care. Have a good one.